So today, AMD conducted their Advancing AI presentation, and while some people probably didn't expect that much to be revealed besides MI300, I was actually watching this one live because I had a really strong suspicion that AMD was about to do an early reveal of some Hawkpoint and Strix APU information, and, well, they did not disappoint. But why did I suspect this ahead of time? Well, if you've been following this channel for at least a month now, you'll know that I've been divulging tons of pretty underwhelming pieces of information and quotes from people within Intel and some of Intel's partners about Meteor Lake performance not really being better than Raptor Lake, and even the efficiency itself not always being that much better, if better at all, than Raptor Lake, and even the AI performance, something that Intel is going to be screaming from the rooftops is the point of Meteor Lake, may not even really be that much better than Phoenix, if better at all. And now, I really do want to drill in on why that is not okay for Meteor Lake before I move on, because I've seen a lot of fascinating Intel fanboys both defending some hilariously hypocritical marketing this week from Intel that Intel has already backtracked on, by the way, but then also acting like I haven't been getting what the point of Meteor Lake is because it's all about the efficiency, bro. No, I do understand that. The people that keep shouting that in the comments, though, need to understand this. If Meteor Lake, as I've already leaked with a efficiency curve so far, only achieves a 20% or possibly, from what I can tell, less than 10% heavy core load efficiency boost over Raptor Lake, that is an utter failure if you're supposedly using the most advanced silicon process on Earth, according to Intel, and 3D stacking Foveros technology, and around 10% efficiency boost, sometimes, not even all the times, by the way, is something you would expect out of going from like the RX 480 to the RX 580, just like an overclocked, maybe not even a plus architecture. If that is all Intel achieves, and that was the entire point of the architecture, you should be expecting far more of an efficiency boost than that in all scenarios. And I say all scenarios because, yeah, I'm sure there will be. I am sure there will be specific scenarios where Meteor Lake gives you more than that. And that's an efficiency boost over Raptor Lake, remember, not over Phoenix, which is more efficient than Raptor Lake, and not over Hawkpoint, which is even better than that. And speaking of Hawkpoint, which AMD did reveal today, that is the product that Meteor Lake will actually be competing against, and according to AMD, it's already shipping. AMD has managed to announce that Hawkpoint is shipping before Intel even officially launches Meteor Lake, and, well, why would they do that? It's not probably going to be on store shelves until January. Well, I believe that AMD didn't wait until CES to talk about Hawkpoint and Strix Point because they know they probably have Meteor Lake mostly beat already, and they want to get some numbers out there circulating in the press this week so that it's hard for Intel to be confident with any numbers they put out at their Meteor Lake reveal next week, and that includes AI performance, which I now have to put this yet another unfortunate Intel leak on screen here. One of my best sources at an OEM says that the number he's consistently heard referenced for the NPU's performance in Meteor Lake is around 10 tops. And while this person doesn't know if they managed to push it up at the last minute to something like 12 or 13 tops, this person would be surprised if it has gotten much better since that last briefing they were at. And to be honest, this person and other OEMs I talked to today did back this up even if they weren't quoted. This isn't really news. Everyone in the industry right now knows that Intel is going to be playing catch up in the client space to AMD's performance next year and even to Qualcomm's. And I do not believe it was a coincidence that AMD and Microsoft during their presentation dwelled on TOPS performance here.
You definitely are always talking to me about is more TOPS. Pavan asks for more TOPS all the time.
Lisa, that's awesome, and we will use every top you will provide us.
You promise, right?
Absolutely.
You see, AMD's making a point of saying this. They probably expect that Intel's about to go out there and say, well, Meteor Lake's AI engine, it's good at doing this and this and this and this. AMD wants Microsoft, and they did during their presentation, to very clearly state, we need more TOPS performance. And, well, AMD is going to have 16 TOPS, 60% more than what Phoenix had. And as of today, according to my sources, also more than what Meteor Lake will have before Strix comes out and brings even more than that. That is why I was suspecting this entire time that AMD might do a surprise early APU announcement during an AI presentation. It's because I've known for a while that Meteor Lake is underwhelming, and if I know this, AMD probably does as well. And so, yeah, they announced several products that are going to beat Intel possibly across the board. If you look at these numbers here, you have to remember, Meteor Lake won't be much faster than Raptor Lake, and it's actually not even more efficient at the top and bottom of its efficiency bands. And AMD is bragging they are faster multi-threading than something Intel probably won't be much faster, if at all faster than. And, well, yeah, remember, this gaming performance here, yeah, I've also leaked what Meteor Lake's iGPU performance is going to look like, and it should be between 60 to 90% faster than Raptor Lake, which means around the same, if not possibly maybe even weaker than Hawkpoint. So there you go. Faster iGPU, probably equivalent if not faster multi-threading performance, and better TOPS, which Microsoft said themselves,
We will use every top you will provide us.
But you know, the thing about this chart here, one thing you probably are all wondering is why AMD didn't show Phoenix next to Raptor Lake and Hawkpoint. And well, I think I found out why in the endnotes, and I really dug into this, and that's what I want to tell you later in this video, what the actual uplift over Phoenix, not Raptor Lake, is with Hawkpoint, and also get into talking a bit about the MI300X, but first an ad from a sponsor. Jessie here likes to run, like a lot, like so much that sometimes it's hard for me to keep her slow enough for me to keep up with her if I run next to her casually. And so, yeah, she's a handful. I don't have time to deal with other annoying things while I'm running, like, well, earbuds that run out of battery, fall out of my ear, or have terrible mics so that nobody can really understand me if I'm talking to them while I'm out and about. And that's why I use the Basis MA10 wireless earbuds. They have 140 hours of playtime, they're waterproof, and they have multi-point connections and low latency for when I use them to game, and they're also rapid charging, and come with active noise cancellation features, and have been recommended by Oscar-class composers. And important for me, the mic sounds good. Seriously, it's often not even a matter of cost. I'm really not kidding. It's just a flip of the coin if a wireless set of Bluetooth earbuds has a decent mic or not. I use them sometimes for work and recording, for talking to people while I'm playing online video games, and thus I really do recommend this pair of Bluetooth 5.3 earbuds that cost just $23. And also recommend that you click those links in the description to support the channel if you need a new pair of reasonably priced earbuds that has a long battery life and a great mic. And remember that even if you just click on the link in the description, you're helping out the channel tremendously. Check out the Basis Bowie MA10 wireless earbuds today. Now, when it comes to actual information that AMD wanted to show about Hawkpoint, I would say it really boiled down to three main things. Number one, it's coming now. Number two, it's going to be better than Intel at AI, and our partners want better performance in AI. And then number three, it's also going to be stronger than Intel's products overall, but let's not talk about Phoenix. But that's not me. I do want to talk about Phoenix because, well, I think most people, for example, don't really care what insane number better Hawkpoint will be in integrated gaming than Raptor Lake. We all know that Intel graphics are meme-worthy trash by now. Let's talk about an integrated graphics performance level that we actually know is okay. How does Hawkpoint compare to Phoenix? And well, I went through all of these endnotes, which actually I believe were specific enough to get a rough estimation of where Phoenix would line up, and I scoured through data points from Jared's Tech and also across Notebook Check, making sure to only use 1080p results from mobile devices, not even those overclocked NUCs, and well, this becomes this. Now look, I decided not to get into the content creation numbers too far because I just felt like I couldn't quite trust the ones that I had enough to really bother using them next to the gaming and multi-threading benchmarks that I could fully flesh out, and those are the ones you guys probably actually wanted to see anyways. In addition to that, please keep in mind that I could see this fluctuate plus or minus like 5% or so. I can't have an exact comparison unless I have the exact test systems and know the exact power consumption levels they were allowing these products to go to, but I think this is probably pretty close. And so yeah, what you're basically seeing here is that at most, I think Hawkpoint will offer a 15% multi-threading boost over Phoenix. Remember, I said rough estimates here, so I could see it end up being a tad under 10% in practice. And then the gaming performance, I think Hawkpoint's integrated graphics will be single digits, maybe a little over 10% better than what Phoenix gets you. And so, yeah, they're not comparing Hawkpoint to Phoenix outside of AI performance because, well, outside of AI performance, it's not going to be a very large uplift. Don't get me wrong, it might be bigger than what we've seen out of Rembrandt to Rembrandt R, which was practically negligible, but I don't think it's even going to be remotely close to what we saw out of Cezanne to Rembrandt. This is a uplift over Phoenix, but this is not the true successor for premium laptops that's going to give you a massively better experience. That's going to be Strix Point. Although I will say something fishy could be going on here with AMD and their new Hawkpoint products. You know, if you go check the specs page on AMD's website of the 7940HS from Phoenix and then compare it to the 8945HS from Hawkpoint, you can see that AMD hasn't changed anything on there when it comes to clock speeds. They're the same between them, besides the TOPS performance. And so, how are they getting up to double-digit performance increases? Well, I think one of two things is going on here. And the first one centers around, well, you have to remember that back with Phoenix, AMD at the very last minute downgraded Phoenix performance. So these pages can change. In a week or two from now, AMD could go onto their website and just change what the official clock speeds are. And so I think that option number one is there could be some legitimate AMD sandbagging going on here, like what we saw out of Zen 4 when AMD teased an 8 to 10% IPC increase and above 5 gigahertz clocks for a greater than 15% single threading boost, and it ended up being a 13% IPC increase with 5.7 gigahertz clock speeds for a 29% single threading increase. That could happen here. And the fact of the matter is that somehow AMD has managed to boost AI performance by 40%. So I think clocks just do have to be up somehow. Maybe they could argue they're between base and boost clock is just boosting to the top of the boost clock much more this time. But I do think there's a serious chance that last minute, well, AMD could be playing with what happened last time, where something possibly went wrong with Phoenix and they had to disable something. And this time, in fact, nope, they've got it working and boom, it's actually higher than you thought it was. Haha, Intel. Well, that's option number one. Option number two is that, well, AMD is simply only achieving improvements on the AI clocks. Maybe they just uncapped power consumption limits that were in place with Phoenix, but they removed for Hawkpoint, knowing how flashy AI is getting this year. That could be what's going on. And, well, you know, remember, I said there was some roughness to those estimates that I put there by looking through other benchmarks online for where Phoenix is relative to Hawkpoint. I said it was rough, and I said it could be off by like 5%. So who knows? Maybe AMD is just legitimately hiding that Hawkpoint is only like 3 to 6% faster than Phoenix outside of AI. But I don't know. We'll have to see, but it's definitely one of those two scenarios. But either way, it really doesn't matter all that much. What matters is that Hawkpoint is going to be good enough to compete with or maybe even defeat Meteor Lake in January. It's shipping right now. And then it's Strix that will bring the massive performance uplifts late summer 2024. And remember, Intel doesn't have anything to compete with Strix until 2025. That's all I'll say about how bad that Bloodbath could turn into. But what about MI300? Well, I just don't have as much to say about it as I did about all of their APUs they were announcing today. And so that's why this is coming at the end of the video. But look, I'm going to talk about it. It actually just ties H100 at some fairly important tasks, and it does win at others. But hear me out, AMD revolutionaries. Don't kill me for saying this. Well, it does win at some things by what seems like fairly big margins. I don't think they're big enough to take as much revenue away from NVIDIA as if AMD would have just launched this sooner. Now, I know what a lot of people might say. MI300X, it's not like it's launching years after H100. No, but with how fast the AI market is moving right now, and with how much revenue was up for grabs at the beginning of the gold rush this year, I can't help but think that a lot of people are feeling like MI300X is launching years after Hopper. It doesn't need to literally launch years after Hopper. It probably just feels like it is, and NVIDIA's already capitalized on a lot of the demand out there that already sounds like it's fizzling out. Which, speaking of fizzling out, that actually is, I think, the main reason why Jensen Huang probably doesn't like seeing this MI300X launch. It's probably simply because now they have competition at all. And before, they had it way too easy in this market, and they know that they don't need any more challenges when they are being told they can't sell a lot of their products into other major markets. The markets they can sell into is shrinking, and AMD is clearly being perceived as a good alternative to NVIDIA, one that has an improving AI software stack, and one that AMD clearly wanted to get out there and demonstrate today has many companies looking to work with them because, well, they know that even if they're launching a bit late, they have a proven track record of executing on better products every single year, and even launching some products a little bit early, like they are doing with their APUs, which, yeah, that's really the point of this video. Well, Intel struggles to launch 2023 performance before 2023 ends. AMD's already announcing all these 2024 products that are off to a really great start, and a great start that seems to be happening a little bit early. Oh, and one more thing. A lot of people, at least in the Moore's Law's Dead Discord I noticed, were blown away by AMD announcing 304 compute units in the MI300X. And know who was also blown away about this actually years ago? Me and the contributors at Moore's Law's Dead that helped me put together that legendary MI300 leak that directly showed you what MI300 looked like long before AMD officially confirmed it. And without going into too much detail, look, that leak, that one there specifically, was based on actually seeing MI300 really, really early, and I just didn't think it would be safe to actually show any pictures, and so we did a render of it. And, well, that's why the dies look so similar between that leak and what you're seeing today, because those renders really were based on seeing the real product. And, well, the funny thing is that we did see all of those dozens of compute units on each of those compute chiplets, but we didn't say an exact number or even a rough range of estimates because, well, we didn't want to sound stupid. But if you go back and watch that video, you can see that I'm saying it seems like it has hundreds of compute units, but until we know more or can get multiple spec sheets verifying it, we don't think it's safe to say an exact number because it seems outrageous. And it was outrageous. Apparently, at the time, it seemed almost too good to be true to us, but apparently it wasn't. And AMD launched that too good to be true product today. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the Moore's Law's Dead YouTube channel. According to statistics, it seems like about half of you aren't even subscribed. Subscribing really does help out the channel a lot. But do you know what helps out even more? Joining the Moore's Law is Dead Patreon and funding the Moore's Law is Dead team directly. Doing so, even just $2 a month, gets you access to hundreds of Die Shrink episodes. Some great ones just came out. You can get hour-long videos every month, multiple of them. They never have ads. And actually, you can also ask guests questions. The next guest coming on next week is a gaming AI developer, someone actually working on AI models, testing them on multiple types of hardware, and trying to get them implemented into future AAA games. And, well, he wants to talk about what will actually be important for gaming AI performance in the future. Will Meteor Lake's AI engine, will Phoenix, will Hawkpoint's AI engine be good enough for what you're going to need in the future? Are different graphics architectures actually what they're going to use for these types of new models in games? You can ask this guest questions if you join the Moore's Law's Dead Patreon. And again, there's tons of other content there as well. Access to a Discord where you can discuss this video with me and the community of thousands of people after this video dropped. And I hope to see you there. But whether or not you join me, thank you for watching.